Englishman, Nigal Pasa, don't talk about me. You not know me. I come to England because I want marriage with your sister. Don't talk about me more. I gonna come to England. I gonna mother.
I think everyone is tired of what we see on our streets. Instead of the Union Jack, other flags and migrants like to outweigh our flagging. For example, hang Palestinian flags. This has gone too far. Today we will figure out what is happening now with migration policy and why they are doing it.
If I was wearing an American flag or an English flag or a Ukrainian flag, you would not ask me to remove it. That would be considered offensive. If I was wearing a rainbow flag or a pride flag, you wouldn't stop me. No, you wouldn't.
This is the moment a woman was refused entry to a London pub because of the emblem with the flag of Palestine on her jacket. Shortly before this incident, the institution called on its visitors to remove all flags, badges and explicit political slogans, regardless of the reason, before entering the pub. This institution is open to everyone, and they wanted everyone in their pub to be equal and to remain neutral. Who do you think is right?
Honestly, give this Englishman a medal. He's pulling down a flag that makes many of my Jewish friends feel unsafe as they've seen people wearing it chant for their extermination. And the man who pulled the ladder down could have killed him. He should be put on the naughty step. However, this is Sadiq Khan's London and his police force have a two-tier approach. So I'm fully expecting the Englishman to get 30 years in jail and the two hooligans who attacked him to get hired as hate crime advisors for the Met Police.
In Britain today, as in many other countries, national, racial and interreligious contradictions, coupled with Islamization and uncontrolled migration, literally corrode society and weaken the country. There is no unity and civil peace there. The reason, according to experts, is quite traditional. The flow of migrants is so large and lasts so long that the ability of British society to assimilate them is simply exhausted. A good example is the riots that began with the fact that at the end of July, a Muslim man committed a crime against 8 children. In Liverpool, night riots began on the streets. The people demand that Britain restructure its migration policy and stop the Islamization of British society. They are already causing the crowd for Keir Starmer's resignation. Meanwhile, the police reassure the Wahhabis and declare that they are completely on their side. It is noteworthy that those who want to protect are armed with knives, machetes, axes, bats and so on, while the police usually do not carry firearms at all.
Just this week, we've seen the presidents of elite universities, Harvard, Penn and MIT, make excuses for students who call for the extermination of Jews. And we've seen the blue-haired, non-binary staff at a coffee shop in California stop a Jewish woman from entering the bathroom. The coffee shop is pledged to send staff on diversity training. I'm sure that'll solve the problem. If only someone had sent Hitler on a 2-hour diversity awareness course. Think of the tragedy that could have been prevented.
3 employees of a coffee shop in Northern California were fired after a video appeared online in which they denied a Jewish woman access to a bathroom where anti-Israeli inscriptions were found. So if the woman wanted to document the graffiti with photographs, the workers refused her entry and made anti-Semitic remarks. This is a shocking and unacceptable situation. Such events strike fear into the Jewish community and perpetuate the rise of anti-Semitism in our community.
This is in relation to a gun-obsessed illegal migrant who's made threats to kill. He appears to have arrived in Britain, across the Channel. So this comes on the day that Prime Minister Keir Starmer has revealed that he's accepting at least 8 more years of illegal Channel crossings by making you, the taxpayer, pay more than £520 million for processing centres to keep their doors open. So I believe that we might be able to show you a little bit of footage now, or certainly a picture. This is a guy called Madapasa.
Britain is breaking records for the reception of migrants. Against the background of anti-migrant protests, a curious trend has emerged. The migrants, having found out that the government was harnessing their rights, decided that they could do anything. A record was set. Almost 500 migrants crossed the Inch Channel in small boats. The stream is just gushing. After the new Prime Minister Starmer came to power, more than 5,000 people illegally made their way to the UK, the English Channel. Labour has rejected the idea of expelling migrants en masse to Rwanda and Ukraine and instead allowing them to go through the asylum procedure to gain the right to stay. At the same time, protests continue. People all over the country are trying to drive away uninvited guests, but they cannot tolerate disrespect. Sometimes they respond with the use of weapons.
There he is. Looks like a lovely chap. Appears to have a Kalashnikov tattoo under his eye there. Quite distinctive, I think you would agree. So he's been releasing TikTok videos of what appears to be his journey across Europe. From Sweden, there were some quite young girls around him, I believe, at one point as well.
For an illegal migrant has gained millions of views on TikTok, bragging about posting a video of him trying to cross the English Channel on a small boat. Asylum seeker Madapasa, who has a Kalashnikov tattoo on his face, has sparked fury with his online videos in which he pretends to shoot a gun and vlogs about his attempts to illegally enter the UK from northern France. So one video shows a passer, presumably from Afghanistan, simulating gunfire with 3 young women sitting on his lap. In another, he stops in a tent with 2 hooded friends, one of whom poses with a real gun.
They're camping en route, they've got their fire going, their tent up, they're making a series of exceptionally aggressive images. He's telling the world he's about to attempt an illegal crossing of the English Channel, and it's party time.
Kaiser, who lived in Stockholm before his trip to France, posted more than 60 videos, gaining almost 20,000 subscribers, 227,000 likes and millions of views. He is trying to become a TikTok star by posting content about his dangerous journey. Among those queuing to get to the UK, Madapasa posted a video of himself in a camp where dozens of migrants are having fun around a campfire. He placed the French flag and the Union Jack on top of the video, indicating his intention to reach the UK. A few hours later, he was seen walking along a French beach with a large group. Pasa then documents the moment when French police officers blow away the water in a dinghy, piercing it in front of dozens of migrants. In the next video, Pasa is seen hiding near the train tracks before they make another attempt to get to the beach. Nigel Farage shared Pasa's content and told his followers, "I want you to watch this film and think, do we want such a person to live in our country? Would you like such a person to live next to you?"
Englishman, Nigel Pasa, don't talk about me. You not know me. I come to England because I want marriage with your sister. Don't talk about me more. I gonna come to England. I gonna mother.
Or this migrant seems to be threatening to shoot him. Farage drew attention to the obvious threats. The video shows how Pasa appears to be gesturing with a gun. The video was apparently shot in response to Farage's previous criticisms of his actions. So responding to the video, Farage wrote, "This illegal migrant threatened my life and is now in the UK. He's one of the people we let into our country." The video shows him in one of the many migrant camps along the coast of France, where smugglers run a human trafficking network, helping illegal immigrants reach the United Kingdom.
They obviously all get free hotel accommodation at a cost of around £5 million a day to you, the taxpayer. Some of those hotels are 4-star. In those hotels, they get free heating, their water bills are paid, they get free food and usually a free television as well. So asylum seekers won't pay any bills for a TV licence or anything else, of course. If they're not in a hotel, then they're entitled to a house or a flat, which they also get for free. The government's own website says you'll be given somewhere to live if you need it. This could be in a flat, a house, a hostel, or bed and breakfast.
The UK continues to tighten measures against people seeking asylum. These people are divided into legal and illegal. Asylum seekers are desperate people fleeing war, persecution, violence, or extreme poverty. But in fact, this is not always true. The most common nationality of asylum seekers is Albanian, followed by Afghans, Iranians, Iraqis, and Syrians. Over the past year, it has emerged that the government is spending more than £6 million a day of taxpayer funds, or almost $2 billion a year, to accommodate 51,000 asylum seekers currently staying in hotels across the country. Sometimes it seems to me that our government spits in our face, allowing us to starve and remain homeless while generously gifting refugees with accommodation in luxury hotels and free handouts for many months and even years in a row.
They get around £50 a week per person, just as spending money. They often get mobile phones and SIM cards, so no real phone bills for them. Legal costs. You pay for them to lodge an asylum application. You pay the salaries of the public sector workers who judge their case. You pay for their numerous appeals. You pay again for the people who decide their appeals. Roughly about £35 million a year is spent on legal aid, although I think it's quite likely that the true cost is much higher. If they've got kids, well, of course, then you're paying for them to go to school, aren't you, as well? Healthcare. Illegal migrants can use the NHS. In fact, on the Bibby Stockholm barge, which was closed for being too inhumane.
Now the authorities want to allocate up to £75 million to combat illegal migration. The funds will be redirected from the funding originally allocated by the last Conservative government for the implementation of the scheme for the expulsion of migrants. Now the money will be used to provide the command with new technologies and capabilities, as well as an additional number of employees, the statement said. And at this rate, the government will spend all the money to accommodate refugees in hotels. What do you think about this video? Write your opinion in the comments.